and wool. Two man-sized gloved hands which lightly grasped her shoulders and smoothly restored her to an upright position confirmed the impression. She turned quickly and looked up, a good ways up, at him. Ye gods! Or more accurately, ye god Mars. Perhaps he wasn't precisely like the image in the painting. For one thing, the living man was fully clothed, and most expensively, too. But the nose and forehead and mouth were so alike, and the shape of the eyes especially. His, unlike the war gods, were open. They were green, with gold flecks, like the gold streaks in his dark blonde hair, and that was curly like Mars's, and appealingly unruly. Something less easily definable in the eyes and mouth hinted at other kinds of unruliness. The mouth on the brink of a smile, and the eyes open a degree too wide and innocent. Or was that stupidity? "In all the excitement, I seem to have put my foot under yours," he said. "I do beg your pardon." Not stupid. More important, he'd been standing too close, and she hadn't noticed. Leonie never allowed anybody to sneak up on her. In Paris, that could have been fatal. Even in London, it was risky. She kept all her misgivings on the inside, as she'd learned to do eons ago. "I hope I did you no permanent injury," she said. She let her gaze drift downward. His boots were immaculate. His valet had polished them to such a fearsome brilliance the dust of London's streets could only stagger away, blinded. His green gaze slid downward, too, to her footwear. A small foot, wrapped in a bit of satin and a sliver of leather doing damage. Odds against, don't you think? "The bits of satin and leather are half-boots, called brodequins," she said. "And my feet are not small, but it's gallant of you to say so." "In the circumstances, I ought to say something agreeable," he said. "I ought as well to produce a clever reason for creeping up on you, or a chivalrous reason, like intent to shield you from falling easels. But then you'd only decide I was an idiot. As anybody can see, the offending object is some yards away." She was aware of somebody swearing about 3 paintings to her left. From the same direction came the sound of wood scraped over wood and the rustling of a heavy fabric. She didn't look that way. Girls who didn't keep their wits about them when gods wandered their way got into trouble. Ask Daphne, or Leda, or Danae. Today's fitful sun had decided to stream through the skylight at this moment. Its rays fell upon the gold-streaked head. "Perhaps you were captivated by the painting," she said, "and lost track of your surroundings." "That's a fine excuse," he said. "But as it's my painting and I've had ample time to stare at the thing, it won't do." "Yours," she said. She hadn't looked up the lender's name at the back of the catalogue. She assumed the masterpiece must belong to the king or one of the royal dukes. "That is to say, I'm not Botticelli, you know, the fellow being dead some centuries. I'm Lisburne." Leonie collected her wits, brought business to the front of her mind, and flipped through the pages of her mental ledger, wherein she kept her private compendium of Great Britain's aristocracy as well as important tidbits from the gossip sheets and her gossipy customers. She found the entry easily because she'd updated it not many days ago. Lisburne meant Simon Blair, the 4th Marquess of Lisburne. Age 27, he constituted the sole issue of the greatly lamented 3rd Marquess of Lisburne, whose very recently remarried widow resided in Italy. Lord Lisburne, who'd lived abroad, too, for these last 5 or 6 years, had arrived from the continent a fortnight ago with his first...